Well, hello there. It's me, Aditya, and today we'll be going through some updates of what happened to GraphScript. So, last time you might have seen about the GSAM compiler, that is the compiler I was making for the visual scripting engine, and the engine kind of looked like this. We can see the engine. It might be a little low quality, but the plan was to make drag and drop blocks and so on, and it'll just move on. And after that, I decided to change and remodel the stuff a little bit. And what I made was kind of an ecosystem or IDE for visual scripting. So let's get started with the current latest version of GraphScript. Now, for those who don't really know what GraphScript is, which probably be a lot of people right now, I'll just show you what GraphScript is. Like, it's kind of a programming language, but more of towards the visual scripting instead of the syntax, because I believe coding programming, it's more on about the logic and the problem solving skills, not the syntax. The syntax may vary from language to language. Maybe some codes are written in Python, some are written in JavaScript, some in C++, but ultimately all of them are capable of doing the same thing. So syntax really doesn't matter. What matters is, if I am trying to make a calculator, I need to make sure that it's same across, like, it will be same across all the programming languages. Like, it shouldn't be the case that 2 plus 2 equals 4 in some language and 2 plus 2 equals 5 in some language. Uh, Now, there might be criticism about floating points like 0.1 plus 0.2 not equal 0.3 because of some decimal issues. But however, I guess we are not going like that deep into that. And once again, as is just, GraphScript is a visual scripting language, and today we'll be exploring the ecosystem of GraphScript. So we also have an online editor, by the way, which I will talk about a little later. Um, by the way, you guys can access the documentations as well, so it's available. A few pages might be in work, so something like this may appear, but soon you'll be able to like view these pages as well once they are ready. Apart from that, we also have this edit icon. Like, we can go ahead, and if you really love about open source projects, you can also prefer to pull requests into this repository for helping me with the docs. I mean, right now it's just this much, and I'm planning to add more as well, but that will be gradual. It may include GSAM as well. So for those who don't know GSAM, it's the compiler that I created, and this was what I was showing you guys in the previous video, the compiler one. So yeah, it's available in Pipey as well, if you just want the compiler, and if you do have Python, so it will be like really easy, like pipex install GSAM, and that's it, and then you can use it all throughout the platform. I did update it 1.0.019 since there were quite a few bugs, but majorly, like, it's the online editor, and just like you'll work with the graphs, like the nodes, and it will help you like generate the like compiled project. Moving on, let's I'll just also say about the open source. So the community, there is a community, and there is an organization for this, and all of the repos are public so far, and you guys can contribute to it as much as you want. All right, so like we have explored these four options. So how about we explore the ecosystem a little bit? Uh, there are some stuff behind, like beneath this, but I guess it's just covered by me already. Just to mention, like I want this language to be beginner friendly, and I'm trying to make as much changes and as much um, efforts possible to make it very beginner friendly. So alright, let's get started into the ecosystem. I'll just click it again and it will lead us to the release page. Right now there's just this Mac package, but soon we'll have other platforms as well for Linux and also for Windows, probably around next month. And let's install this. The zip is 23 MB, 24 approx, but after unzipping it's something like 60 to 70 zips. So I guess I'll just open this. Okay, just a second. Just open this. So I have this. If we see, it's 67 MB, so that's fine. Uh, Now, since I'm just a simple developer with no such budgets, I really couldn't get an Apple certificate or developer program right now. So you might need to use some commands to let it run, otherwise it will show some errors like GS installer not open because Apple couldn't verify stuff. Uh, that's because I don't have a certificate. Anyways, for this we can easily fix this using the terminal. We can move to the downloads and we can run a command x attribute, and then this will just remove the quarantine from the GS installer application, the installer. So this is the installer, just to make sure. uh, so this is not the actual program, this is installer, and this will help you set up the actual program. It will also include auto updating. It will include multiple types of windows, including the launcher, including the editor, and even like custom consoles as well. And it's like really easy to set up. Right now it's just the GS installer application which needs this uh, thing. So I'll just run this, and now you can see that. Just close the terminal, and it started. If you really have a doubt in this, if it's safe or not, I'd rather suggest you that you can also read the source code. It's directly built from there, and builds are made using GitHub Actions. So um, there's not much chance of interference, although there might be. So I will recommend, if you're not sure about trusting, I'll recommend you to see the source code as well. And I would love some points as well, if it's really great or not, if there are any potential issues. I'm open to working on them. So let's continue with setting up. So there's a simple button, you can drag the window, it just says GraphScript installer. So let's start the setup, and now we have to select the app data folder. Now app data folder is the folder that will contain all the data for GraphScript. This includes the auto updates, this also includes the project files, and so on. So let's select a browser. So I already have a folder ready. You can make a folder as well. Try to keep this folder safe and try not to delete it accidentally, since all the data like is stored in this single folder. In case you delete it, so it might create some issues with the real applications. The auto updates might not work. You might need to reinstall all this stuff to get it working. So alright, let's use the GS folder. So it's allowing me to install now. If I switch, like just change it, and the path is not valid, So it'll just reject the install option. However, the path is correct right now, so I'll just keep continuing with the installation progress, and I'll install GraphScript. So just a simple button press and it started installing. I wouldn't recommend closing this window because like it's still in development, and I said okay, that's fine, let's keep the window closed, we can think about it later. This is an active project which is being worked upon, so possible that by the time you are watching this video there might have been some different changes, maybe it had become better and so on. There are a few problems like which might come, but we'll fix them eventually, like with time as GraphScript progresses. So right now my GraphScript wants to access the desktop folder because all the stuff is inside. Make sure the application does have the permission to like access these files, and to make sure of that, just give permissions. You can try maybe chmod using the terminal, or there might be other shell scripts. You can probably search that online as well, whichever will suit to your system. So GraphScript is asking for desktop folder because our files are there, so I'll just allow it. And this is where we are running GraphScript. We can see our projects. Currently there are no saved projects. We have the version system, and we also have the auto updates. uh, I'll show auto updates as well. Actually, let's start the deployment for next update so that it will be easy for the auto updates. This is the launcher. So let's just update with the GraphScript. I think we can go with the desktop service because it will just rebuild from scratch in that case. So we'll have more insights. I'll just trigger and do this, release latest builds, and now we release the build. So in case the desktop service gets updated, the whole application also gets updated, apart from the UI part which gets updated. Like the app won't change much, it's just the version it's running upon, so it's not so crucial. Like it will also detect those kinds of changes, but yeah, it's absolutely fine. So I'll just give a look upon this, and it seems like it's already done with its stuff. So I think in some time as well we will be able to see this edit tool options. Should I just refresh? Maybe not. Meanwhile we can create a project. Oh, okay, no. I left the Mac OS version more because of the transparency I was able to build, and the ecosystem as well. So let's create, like we do also have other options. Yeah, we can refresh as well. It's still not here, it might take some time. Okay, so over here now I'll do a simple thing. I'll just create a hello world project for this time, and maybe next time we'll able to create something interesting. If you guys have an idea, like maybe we can solve a little bit of uh, algorithms and DSA problems using GraphScript. And yes, it's really possible even in this condition as well. Like there needs a lot of work to be worked upon, like there are a lot of pending tasks in this. However, it's enough for the applications for DSA. It seems like it's not working. Actually, that's not really an issue as well. If you see in the, what is this doc, launchpad? Okay, launchpad, our GraphScript is available over here as well. And what I want to do next is, like we can't really name the projects right now, sadly. I'll do make sure to add that feature. It's essential, it's been bugging me as well. But let's do one thing, let's close this, and start working on our GraphScript. Let's create a simple hello world and maybe even some input as well. So I'll give it a component and call this output. Um, and we can go inside the component to add the arguments, and what we need inside this component is a base node. So this base node will be able to help us write constant values like numbers or true false or text types, that is strings in other languages. So I'll just write hello graph script, and let's move up, and we can even add more blocks to it. However, I just wanted a simple GraphScript stuff. Actually, I should also add an end line. So this will go to the next line after it's done. So let's try by running the project. And when I click the run button, a console appears and it says hello GraphScript, and it finishes. Now I understand that um, it's like really simple, and will also require the inputs for, let's say we have an input. I've also made sure to utilize that as well. So it's a simple, let's create another. I mean, you can see there are a few bugs, but I'll make sure to fix them. Over here I'll create a new, and I'll say enter a number to double, and let's also give it a end line over there. Let's get back, and now we have two outputs. Let's try run. It asks for a number, although the script finished. So let's simply add a component input, which will help us get the input of the component. Like, oh, sorry, I meant get the content from the input from the console window. We might need to save it somewhere, so instead of keeping it like this, I'd rather delete this and rather create a new variable. So I can do something like, let's save it. That's just how like variables are made using the save one. So first we need a base node, and second we need a input. Whatever is in the base node will be the name of our variable. So I'll call it, what should I call it? Let's call it num. So I have an input. I need to go inside, and actually I need to, I guess I don't really need to go inside, because I do have some scripts available. Okay, so now it should be saving the value of input inside the base node's num variable. I'll also close this node and maybe create a custom state, call it num, and sign it. So anytime I want to use the num, I'll just simply use this num block. Now what I want to do is create another output inside it, and after going inside I just want to, let's say, double the number. So what I want to do is basically multiply the num with 2. So let's use the multiply operator, and inside this I want, let's let's create a numeric 2. Yeah, let's create two numerics. So we have number, and inside this number we can just add a base node. I will be changing the base node to contain the type as well, but for right now we need the conversions. So I'll write 2 over here, and we don't really need much more now. And over here I can just add our num, the custom state num. And once we are done with that, our multiply block is like right now we are inside the output. This is our multiply block. We want to also add another line so that we can get down. So here I'll just say end the line, and now we can test the project. Although I can test it from anywhere, but I just prefer testing it from the entry. So let's test it. It didn't take any input. Okay. um, yeah, that's sometimes buggy, so I'll just add a base node. Empty base node is also fine because input expects a value for some reason. I'll make sure to fix it in the GSAM next version. That's just a GSAM issue, maybe. So alright, now if we try to run it, it's asking me to enter a number. So let's say I'll give 10, so it will print 20. There will be more changes where user can see their past inputs as well, but so far this is the console for GraphScript, the custom console. um, yeah, so using this GraphScript we can easily control all the ongoing stuff. Now the project is auto saved by the way, but you can also load and save projects separately or get the compiled version of project as well. However, I don't really need it right now. I just want to cut this and restart our GraphScript. It will take us to the engine page, and now we also see that the updates that we pushed a little earlier are available now. Alright, so let's try, before updating, let's just see if this is working. There might be some issues with this. Let's just continue with the GraphScript. Yes, it'll close. Why am I reading this? So GraphScript tries to update it automatically from inside, and once it closes, you know that it's been updated. So I'll just create a new GraphScript instance. It's waiting. It'll ask again since it's a completely different application. Not like that, but like in the sense that it's creating a new build for it. So you don't really need to run the xattr command again and again, and that inside the folder of applications. I'll just allow it, and it should hopefully show me the data. So there are projects. I think there might be some issue with the project. I'm not sure. Maybe I'm not saving it. I'll check that later once again. But our projects will still be accessible. And in case if you want, you can also go ahead and see the data and all stuff on your folder. It's pretty safe actually. This is the projects, and okay, there is no save file. I'll need to troubleshoot that maybe. Anyways, that's GraphScript, and that was also how to install GraphScript. Make sure to okay, no, I'm not saying that. Alright, that's actually pretty much it about the GraphScript engine, the ecosystem. It consists of console, auto updating launcher, desktop services that powers the entire tools and engines, and it supports visual scripting. It still is pretty relatively new, and I believe there might be a lot of fixes in the future, and this is the first prototype of my GraphScript. And yeah, thanks for watching. I guess that will be it. Be sure to check out graphscriptlabs.github.io if you're interested to use GraphScript or get hands on it. Right now it's like very, let's say, underdeveloped. It needs more development. I've already spent almost about 300 hours maybe in this, 200 to 300 hours, and there's still more work to be done. I've been working for the past 1 or 2 months maybe, I'm not sure, but yeah, this is GraphScript. And thanks for watching. It's been Aditya, and see you next time.